Hi guys, so we've just picked up the keys to this latest project we're doing in the sourcing business. Picked this house up for £71,000. It is a gold disused shop many years ago, and it's located in Northumberland. We're going to be doing a full renovation inside, absolutely everything. And yeah, let's go and take a look around.
So here we are in what used to be the shop in the front half of the house. So this was a shop many years ago, and we're told 20-30 years ago was when it changed over its use. So it isn't a commercial to residential development. It was converted into a residential status C3 property many years ago, but they obviously kept the shop front that you can see at the start of the video. So yeah, here we are in what used to be the shop many years ago, and they didn't do any work to it. So whilst it was converted to a C3 residential house 20-30 years ago, it didn't do the work to convert this space in the front into what would have been a nice front reception room. So we've obviously still got this this shop fronting. So the shop fronting. So the shop front will obviously have to be removed, and what we think is hiding behind here. So this was obviously the shop from many years ago, and they didn't use steel beams back then. So we suspect that across the top of there is going to be a really old wooden beam or several wooden beams. So obviously it's going to be a significant bit of work to take out the whole of the shop front and essentially brick it all up. So the first thoughts we've got are that we are just going to try and match the bricks and brick up that shop front, but we are then going to assess what it looks like after that and see if we need to address the front of the house with render to better the appearance of it. Obviously that is a cosmetic thing. The budget isn't too tight on this, so we've got this property for £71,000. We're anticipating the refurb to be in the region of 30 to 35, depending on how much all this work the front costs. Yeah, we will assess if we're going to put render on it or not at a later date, further down the line, once we've bricked it all up at the front. So the plan is we're just going to match the windows upstairs, and this door, so this is all going to come out, right? All of this is going to come out, and we are going to add a new door. And on this side of the front of the house, we're going to extend what is the corridor from the back there, the hallway, down to the front. We're going to have a new door here. We're going to put a small window in here in the porch, and then we are going to, so yeah, the door will be right over the sides here. We'll have a small window in here, and the corridor, the hallway will obviously come along to here. Then we'll add a new doorway in here, which will then be the new front reception room or the living room. And then the plan for this side of the front of the house will obviously be to remove all of this. All of this is obviously all coming out as well. And then we'll be bricking up all of this as well. So the door's going, that's going to be on that side. And then we're going to have one large window here, which is going to mirror where the large window is upstairs, just to think about the cosmetics of doing such a big job like this. And then, so the plans for the house, we are going to be fully reboarding. Obviously inside here, we're going to be stripping out all the old wood paneling, and we're going to be reboarding for the inside of this room and the new hallway. And the under the stairs covered as well. Make that a bit more functional because at the minute it's pretty dirty, a bit mistreated over the years, obviously, like the rest of this front room. And We're going to make this space into, board it all up, full rewire as well, and make it into a new front living room for the new tenants. So this property is a BRRR property. It has been bought with the intention to keep it, so we're not going to be flipping it. This has been purchased by one of my investors in the sourcing business. So we run Aptitude Property Investments. Fully sourced end-to-end by Aptitude Property Investments, so sourced it and now project managing the build as well, and we will deal with the tenanting on the back end and the trusted letting agents that we work with. And yeah, let's go and have a look around the rest of the property, guys. Well guys, just coming through into the back reception room, which obviously would have been the main living room when the previous owner had been living here. So it was quite an elderly individual told who did pass away, and then this was a probate property, which we then picked up for an excellent price on market as well. We just managed to secure it quite quickly. So yeah, in here would have been the old main reception room. This will now be the dining room, because obviously it backs onto an extension at the back of the house, which contains the kitchen area. So we will use that front room as the new main reception room, and then we will use this as a back dining room, which obviously opens up onto the kitchen. And so yeah, in here the plans are that the fireplace is going to come out. The old cabinets at the side of the fireplace are also going to come out. And then we are lucky in the sense that this property has actually had the central heating, the gas central heating done in recent years. We think around 10 years ago from what we can read on the boiler, but it's got the new pipes in, it all looks good, and we'll have a look at the boiler later. We think we're going to have to replace that, but in terms of the gas central heating system, that's all fine. We will be rewiring the whole of the property. A lot of the UPVC windows will be replaced as well. We tend to find this on properties where elderly individuals were living. In their old age, the families do try to get them to spend a bit more money on the houses, on the bigger ticket items, in particular the gas central heating systems and the boilers, and the UPVC windows are typically what you see very often. And unfortunately you don't see the likes of the walls sorted, so we do have this really old wallpaper throughout the whole property. This is all going to get stripped. We're not going to go back to brick unless some of the wallpaper starts to crumble off, and we don't like going back to brick unless it is absolutely necessary. So we will just fully skin the property unless the plaster is really starting to crumble off behind the wallpaper, in which we will then assess with whether we need to go back to brick on that instance as well. So yeah, let's take a look at the kitchen. So here we have the kitchen, guys, which is in a separate bit of the building. So this is separate to the main house in the sense that we are in an extension here. This has been extended at some point in the past. So what we have in here is basically a non-functioning kitchen. This isn't a kitchen, it's not a habitable kitchen, this. So what we will be doing is trying to claim the stamp duty back as well. And this will be the first time we've actually tried to do this on any of the properties we've invested in, either myself or for any of my clients in the sourcing business. So stay tuned for the update on that, and we will try and claim that back for the investor as well. It's going to be about £2,000, £2,200. And yeah, as you can see, we've got an absolute shell of a kitchen in the minute. These are obviously going to be ripping the whole of this house and rip all the tiles out on this side. All the electrics are going to get ripped out as part of the full rewire. And we are going to get Howdens in to assess what the best design and layout is for this kitchen. Typically just work with Howdens on projects. We just get them to come in, measure up and advise what they think is the best layout. We will then tailor the kitchen to our needs. Obviously, the likes of Howdens, Wren, B&Q, all try to throw loads of optional extras into the kitchens. So just be careful with that when you are buying new kitchens from them. They do put a lot of stuff in there which is normally quite unnecessary for rental properties, certainly. So yeah, the whole of this wall here, you can see, is absolutely riddled with damp. So this is all being soaking down from the roof above, and we will obviously have to fix that as well. So we will have a roofer come out to fix that right hand side of the roof and on the extension, because the water has just been coming down and soaking all the way down the wall. And obviously this wall is completely soaked as well, so we will have to do some damp works to this wall in particular, because it's going to take quite a long time for it to dry out, even after the roof gets fixed as well. Now, just coming down into this very back bit of the extension, so we will be converting this into what we will try and make a usable utility space as well. And then we've obviously got a downstairs toilet in the back there. Obviously you can see on the wall and here in a second, it is, you know, absolutely disgusting. And we will be stripping absolutely everything back. Obviously the whole damp-proof will be required on that wall, obviously because it is soaking wet, all the way to the back and here. All these tiles are going to get stripped out, floor and walls. All the doors are going to get ripped out. So I don't think I've mentioned yet, but we will be doing full new woodwork throughout the property. So that's new doors throughout the property, new screen boards throughout the property, new architraves throughout the property as well. In terms of the external doors, so there are going to be 3 new external doors. We've got the new one we're at the front of the property, we've got the side door, which you'll see in a bit, and we've got this back one in here as well. Yeah, so in terms of the external doors, we've got 3 external doors. We've got the one around the front, we've got added in, we've got the one at the side, which has previously been used as the main door, and we've got this funny one at the back in here, which we may have to alter the brickwork slightly, and this pipework as well around here. But the plan is to try and turn this space here into a kind of small utility area, where we will try to put, it depends on the exact measurements, we will try to put 2 slots in here for a washer and a dryer, but I do suspect that it is a little bit too small. So I think what we will more likely do is put in a space for a combined washer dryer, and then a second slot for a bin as well. But yeah, we will obviously be fully boarding out this whole area, and the rewire will cover this as well, and the new toilet in there, which we will just plaster the inside of there, already plastered that, no tiles in there. So in this back hallway area, we've got all of these old cupboards at the back here, so we will just rip all of these out. They're going to look pretty naff, and when the rest of the house is going to look brand new. And we've got this back door here, back wooden door, which we will be swapping for a UPVC door as well. But yeah, that is pretty much the whole of the downstairs. Obviously fully skimmed throughout the property, all wallpaper's coming off, fully skimmed and then decorated a neutral colour as well, and ready to be tenanted out at the end. So that's the downstairs of the property, guys. Let's go and have a look upstairs. Upstairs here, guys, and you can see that we do have this old style layout from many years ago, when there was a separate toilet and a main bathroom on its own. So we've got a wall in between. It is just a stud wall in between, so we will be knocking that through, and we will be ripping out everything in here. I'll show you in a second, but it's got old wood panels and old timber on there. It's got some naff vinyl flooring, some funky colours. So unfortunately we won't be keeping them, and we will be replacing this with a full new bathroom, and we will be knocking this all through. We will also be extending the door out slightly for the new door and maximising the space available on the landing as well, just to make the bathroom feel a little bit bigger. So yeah, we will just go for a mid-spec level 3-piece suite with a black pack, and we will likely just go for a nice cladding, like a marble style cladding, plastic cladding on the wall around the bath and the shower, and the splashback above the sink. And we will possibly look at doing tiling instead, given that it is in quite a nice area, and we will be trying to charge a premium rent on the back end once it's ready to be tenanted as well. So just coming into the bedrooms, guys, there's not going to be a lot to do in the bedroom beyond all the basics really. So obviously you're going to be ripping everything out. We'll take the fireplaces out, we'll strip all the wallpaper off, we'll fully reskin everything. The UPVC windows have already been done, and we will assess them and make sure there's been no blown panels. I think there is one in the back, and obviously all the light things will come out. And the ceiling will get reskinned as well, and we will put in new woodwork. The woodwork in here is actually alright. So from time to time we do, on projects like this, we would assess whether we're able to reuse anything, and particularly if the budget is a little bit tighter. The budget isn't that tight on this project because we did get it for a good price, £71,000, and refurb respecting 30 to 35, and the end value of GDV is expected to be 130 plus. So stay tuned to see how we get on with that as well. But yeah, the budget isn't that tight on this, so we will likely just replace all of the woodwork as well. Gas central heating here, obviously we mentioned already, is fine, and then we will just go for white everything, obviously woodwork plus, and we will go for a single pane light on there, and we will put down a grey carpets throughout. So we're going to have a look at the last two bedrooms and then wrap up the video. So just going into this last bedroom, the last room in this property, guys, you can see that again, it needs all of the wallpaper stripped off, all the walls need reskinned, we won't be going back to brick unless necessary, as previously mentioned, and obviously this lovely carpet, this lovely shade of carpet. Unfortunately, we won't be staying in the property, and we will be swapping it for a nice grey one. This window on here is actually gone, so we will replace the glass panel. And yeah, gas central heating is fine here, the radiators are fine. You've got the new pipes on there, you can always tell. The pipes that typically need replacing are the old bin ones. You can normally see the chunky new ones are what we need in the new property, guys. So yeah, that is the walk around tour of this project up here in Northumberland. It is a buy-to-let project. We will be converting it into a new buy-to-let, ready for the market, the rental market, and renting it to a professional working family. So stay tuned for this one, guys. It's set to be one of our biggest projects to date, and obviously be sure to go and follow us on all the social medias, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and yeah, thanks very much, guys.